let's get to this here, because I think this is a portion of the show where our people that are really in it for the long haul are in it right now, and I just think we need to have a conversation. Because we did a segment a couple weeks ago, and we gave out some of our best bets in the SEC. And I told you, listen, I think Auburn, 6.5, I think that's rich. I think it's just a little bit too sweet for me. I like 6, is what I said. I like 6 more than 7. I also said I would not be surprised if they get the over on that. But true to what I would expect from a passionate fan base, y'all went to the corner, which is the Auburn fan forum, the Auburn fan site, and that's the forum within that fan site at Auburn Live, and y'all got after it. And credit to you. I looked through it, and y'all let me have it. And I appreciate you for that, because that means that you care about your team, it means you support your team, it means you believe in your team, and it means that you have passion. It means that you're passionate about your team. So with all that aside, we need to have a conversation, because I think that there was a little bit of maybe a misconception. Don't get it twisted. I'm not backtracking. I'm not backing off what I said about Auburn. I still think the win total for them that I like is 6 wins. If you disagree, that's well within your right. God bless you. But I think that opinion that I have, that's where I put my money, for some reason, there was the interpretation that I thought Auburn wasn't any good. Like, I just want to get that out in the open. So why did I pick them to go under 6.5? Let's start there. Why did I say that? The assumption is the SEC is freaking brutal. If we can call a spade, the SEC is going to be a gauntlet. Auburn has to play a lot of the top teams in the SEC. Okay? That's a fact. Other part of this, Auburn last year, there's a reason Hugh Freeze is the head coach now. There's a reason why Brian Harsin is no longer on the sideline for Auburn. Why? They weren't getting it done. Recruiting. People will say things about culture, which I'm not in that building, so I don't pretend to know. There was a lot that you weren't happy with last year. Auburn missed a bowl game last year, okay? Can we just be real about that? Missed a bowl game last year. So they're in a acclimation period, in a revamp period, whatever kind of verbiage you want to put to it, they're revamping. Now, Hugh Freeze, in a short time there, has looked at the portal, rubbed his hands together, and said, give me that. Went and got one of the top portal classes in the country, including guys like Peyton Thorne, who's probably going to be your starting quarterback. So why I have them under 6.5 is because I'm placing a bet. I'm not going off of like the feel or what I think they could do. I'm placing a bet. And I think the SEC is brutal, and I think the roster is going to take a second to formulate. If you disagree, again, God bless you. That is your right to do that. That's where the bet would lie. Now, I have more thoughts on this, though. I don't think that's where we should stop this conversation, because some people said, you think it's going to take an acclimation period? You think Auburn sucks. I never said Auburn sucks. Like, let's all relax a little bit. Make sure you're subscribed right here. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at JD Piquel. All right, appreciate you for that. So let's get back to this. And I hesitated doing this segment because I've had a lot of people within this industry that I respect say, hey, don't read the comments, don't listen to the outside noise. If it's negative, block it out. I think there's some validity to that. But I also think there's a little bit of this bond that we share with y'all being the audience of this show and y'all being this community, that we got to just have a conversation. You know, families fight, brothers fight. We got to talk about it. All right. So the bet was factoring in what I just told you about. Now, I've also been very vocal about this. Again, I'm not backtracking. I'm just being real with you. Here's the deal. Auburn's ceiling is probably 9 wins. That's probably what's going on right now. So for Auburn to say you're anywhere from 6 wins to 9 wins, that's improvement. So what am I saying? I'm saying Auburn's going to be better than they were a year ago. I'm saying I think Peyton Thorne makes your team better. I'm pro Auburn. Like, I don't know how to be, political about this, or diplomatic about this, I guess is a better word to say. I don't want to be political about this. You understand the portal class is what a lot of this is banking on, right? A lot of talent. A lot of talent creates a pretty high ceiling, and it creates a higher floor. The floor I put at 6, the ceiling's somewhere around 9. It's a great way to live. I would say this, can we take a step back about Auburn? And I would say that I think that when you look at Auburn in the long term, I believe in Hugh Freeze. The whole point of doing this segment is so that we're not on record. We're not confused about where we fall in Auburn. We believe in Auburn. I think it's going to take some time for the roster to figure it out and mesh. Yeah, you got a quarterback post-spring football. I think it might take a sec. Is that fair to say? I think so. You look at Auburn, though, long-term, Hugh Freeze is a guy who knows how to win in the SEC, knows how to recruit in the SEC, knows how to recruit the transfer portal, knows how to work with quarterbacks, knows how to score on offense. Like, there's a lot to like about Hugh Freeze, a lot to like about Auburn going forward in the SEC. Also, I'll say this, long-term, I think their resources at Auburn have now been unlocked with the right guy at head coach. A lot of people feel that way as well. I think Auburn now has a chance to make some noise in the future. So I lean towards under 6.5 wins, and I know a lot of y'all disagree, and I love you for it, and I'm going to hear about it, and I can't wait. But I just want to make sure we're on the same page here. Under 6.5 wins, yeah, that's where I lean. Do I think that's the ceiling for Auburn, though? Absolutely not. Auburn is a much better team with Hugh Freeze now as the head coach. They're a better team with Peyton Thorne as the starting quarterback. The possibilities are way up here for Auburn. For those of you listening on podcast, put my hand above my head. All right? They're high at Auburn. The possibilities are very positive. But I just felt we had to have that conversation. So I appreciate y'all listening. I appreciate y'all letting me get on my soapbox there for a minute. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.